So this 11.16 again. This is still the second round, so this is kind of like the games on the sort of other side of the brackets what T1 we're playing on. So let's see what DK want to do. So if we have a look at our information, excuse me, we can see that round 1 in the 2 games that we previously watched, they just completely went 2-0. They need to ban away Canyon's Diana. Okay, so DK banned Diana. DK are gonna B1 Ryze here, or maybe Viego. They're gonna either B1 Viego or Ryze here, since that's kind of like a pattern they've been going with. Oh, they actually got Jace. Oh, I didn't see Jace was banned, so LeBlanc was banned instead of Jace now. Jace has been perma-banned. Well, actually, no, only 36.9%. But in these playoffs, Jace has been banned so commonly. Like, it's all the time. See what they respond with. Aphelios is banned. Maybe we get something like a Ryze Kennen here. I don't really know what NS play, because I haven't done any kind of research. Oh, actually, I know Peanut. Peanut plays Nidalee and Lee Sin. Obviously, Lee Sin's banned. They can take Renekton here. I don't actually mind if they take Renekton here. This was before the hardness to the champion. And also, it pairs up great with Nidalee. So now, what NS need to do with their draft is they just need to formalize the bottom side of their map now. Try and get maybe counter-picking mid lane, R5, so that they have both good solo lanes. And then get maybe something like an Ezreal or a Varus. Just something that can play safe. Here, they're probably just going to pick up Ryze. Ryze and maybe, well, they've already got jungle, so Xin and Ryze, I think. Like, they are blind picking Ryze, but then that saves bot lane until the second rotation, which DK have done quite a lot. They have their draft style is based around just getting power picks for their top 3. The top half of the map, and then just in the bottom half they just get whatever's best for that situation, which is actually a very effective way to draft right now. No. I thought we were going to see the Tryndam in mid. That's more than likely going to be Ziggs bot lane. I doubt they'll put it mid. Ziggs isn't as good in the mid lane, but it is still a flex potential. Oh god, what are these picks coming out? Kai'Sa, no way. Surely not. Like, if he plays Kai'Sa here, he is completely griefing. This has to be a hover. There's no way you can play Kai'Sa into Ziggs. What the what am I watching? How does Kai'Sa ever function here? Can somebody please explain? How is Kai'Sa ever going to be able to do anything? It makes no sense. So this is like multifaceted bullshit, right? And like DK already win based on this, because it's like, okay, you've got Nidalee Renekton. I like this. This is okay. Like, I'm not opposed to this because it's great for topside and you want to play for topside with it. But now all DK need to do is ban Thresh away and camp Kai'Sa, and she's completely doomed. She's never going to be able to walk up into the fight later on into the game because she's going to have a Ziggs zoning her off entirely. It's just bad. I mean, and also they presume that Ziggs is bot lane as well, I guess, because Ziggs isn't as good in mid lane. So they're choosing to choose Kai'Sa into a Ziggs lane. This is terrible. Like, this is one of the worst drafts I've seen in LCK. Like, purely from the playoffs, should I specifically say. So Trundle ban, that means they're probably looking for something like a Leona in R4. Because Trundle is a huge counter to Leona. And DK, they just need to ban Thresh here. Okay, Leona first. It's completely fine. They knew that Leona was going to, you know, get R4 there because of Trundle ban. So now, in terms of NS, I mean, I really don't think they can ban anything that's going to save them here. I do think DK needs to get rid of the Thresh, though, so that NS can't really play for top side and bot side at the same time. Well, not at the same time, but Thresh allows you to kind of not play for bot and bot still be safe from ganks, so Time ban. Please ban Thresh. Please. Then her only good option is Braum, and even that isn't great. Please ban Thresh. It's giving me anxiety. Wukong! Please pick Thresh. Like, if they don't pick Thresh here, come on, what other supports are available? Braum, but... like... painful. Painful. I swear to God if I don't see a Thresh here. I swear to God. I swear to God. Oh my lord. Oh good grief. I mean, Kennen is great, don't get me wrong. I really like Kennen. And that also means that it's going to be a Renekton mid too. Which again is completely fine because it's going to get the Nidalee ahead. But if DK picked GP mid now, so here's the Ryze. It's a little bit later in the draft. I'm surprised the priority was this late. Ryze and Ziggs is a very common dual combo though. It just puts a lot of pressure on the Jace to get ahead because obviously he's going to be one of their primary AD dealers. Obviously Xin can get ahead as well and also be an AD damage dealer. But whew, this draft has been like crazy. If they just pick, they could pick Thresh now, or Nautilus because they've got Ziggs, or even Braum, or I mean Rel as well. Rel is like broken, but the thing is, like, do you really want a Rel with a Ziggs? I mean, I guess it does work because Rel is pretty strong, but I feel like you want somebody that's got a little bit more oomph, and now they give the Nautilus over. So I think that's kind of sad because on top of that, you've also got the fact that, you know, Nautilus can lock down the Nidalee with his ult, no matter how far she jumps away. He pairs up very good with Ziggs because he provides him a lot of space in the early laning phase. He's very good. Oh, excuse me, sorry. He's very good with Kai'Sa because of obviously the interaction with her passive. I always seem to get hiccups when I record lately. It's always in games as well when I'm recording games. Very, very weird. I hope the music isn't too loud, but Mr. Gilly Lucas assured me it isn't, so we're good. So, I think NS are completely doomed. Like, this game is over already, like, I think. Like, I feel like it's just so impossible for Kai'Sa to play this game. Like, so impossible. Like, and she picked it into the Ziggs, so they knew that the Ziggs was coming as well. But why would you choose to play Kai'Sa into Ziggs? I mean, obviously he does have his zone, where if you, in the laning phase, manage to, you know, at level 6, manage to get a W on him, or an ally, you can obviously jump past his zone. But, like, if she jumps past his zone, she's just going to get completely one-shot by the rest of his team. So, it doesn't really make much sense. So, let's see if they do any level 1 shenanigans. I don't think they need to. I think Dan1 just play this one slow. Again, it is Renekton mid, which, you know, is okay considering they have Nidalee. I don't mind that entirely. And then that means that they get a power pick like Kennen as well, which is also a very strong option. Now, there as well, though, I feel like I would have preferred them take their support and just blind for the good match, like good dual combo. Than blind top, because they also ruined their flex. And, you know, they'd already picked Jace. So it was like there was no way that they were going to get the Kennen away from you. So you could have actually saved it a bit longer. Obviously, Kennen is already a counter to him, though. So maybe they just wanted to see support and choose what was best. But if you're going to end up with something like Kai'Sa Nautilus anyway, it's kind of... But the Jace, thank God he's got Gathering Storm. Holy shit. And the Ziggs, thank God they've got Gathering Storm. I swear to God, the amount of Scorches lately is unbelievable. And I just fucking hate Scorch. Like, I just hate it. We got a Gathering Storm in the Kennen as well. It's a nice absolute focus. Okay, it's good for when he wants to come for a TP flank, so I can see why he's doing it. Electrocute for a bit more trading power in the lane. Completely fine. So I mean, kind of standard in terms of runes. So, how do we beat DK? So, what we've evaluated is that you beat DK through just punishing Beryl as much as possible, because Beryl is a lot weaker than pretty much a lot of his counterparts, should I say, in LCK. So, this is DK versus right, so spreadsheet is set up. We're doing a spreadsheet much faster now. So, I mean, Peanut has got a lot of games on Italy. Okay, so 4 wins, 0 lost for the Nautilus. Now, obviously, we can see that there's a little bit of pressure inside the bot lane. NS did get that early prio, but unfortunately, it's kind of bad because they've sort of pushed too hard now, right? Because what's going to happen now is this wave is actually gonna build up. Oh, my pen stopped working 1 second. So what's actually gonna happen now is this wave here, which does also have a cannon in the back here. So this is now gonna end up slow pushing. Obviously this isn't enough for a freeze. If you wanted to freeze here, you need these 3 in addition to another wave, and it'd have to be slightly further up as well. So about here. Now the problem is this is now going to slow push into them, and Zin is just needing to clear these 2 camps and he can reset. So what he can do is he's got around maybe, where do we see the next wave? Maybe a minute worth of time. There's another wave just come out now. So he's got maybe 45 seconds now to... No, probably more, probably about a minute to clear these off now, reset, come into bot lane and use this slow push. So hopefully we see him do that, considering, you know, it's kind of Xin Zhao's thing as an early game pressure champion. Now, obviously this is the problem with taking Renekton mid. Ryze gets a very free time now because the Renekton can never really get on top of him. Ryze has actually gone Conqueror this game as well. I guess just for that adaptive damage that you can do, considering he's going to hard stomp this lane. You don't really need something like Phase Rush when you're playing into a Renekton who can never really do much into you. Now, the Renekton is farming okay, but that's because there was such a huge wave crashed into him there that it was pretty good. Right, so we see Zin coming up. I'm just kind of coming up aggressive in kind of this top side of the map. Now, Kennen didn't actually see him. So now we can kind of see, so Nidalee did actually kind of catch on to where Zin is. Now the problem with this Zin Nidalee matchup is Nidalee can actually farm the jungle so unbelievably fast that she can do so much. Now she's also got this kind of ability to just keep jumping away, and Canyon doesn't have his E available, so he can't actually get on top of her, so it is a little bit unfortunate there. Now, Nidalee does have a massive amount of mobility. She is a very difficult champion in return, though. She's probably one of the hardest junglers to actually pilot and execute, purely because she has so much mechanical difficulty that the amount of time you invest into the champion will, a lot of that time will go towards kind of learning how the champion works, rather than kind of learning how the champion fits into the game overall. So, okay, so Khan just dies here. He's got no mana. They had to use a TP. Oh, Renekton didn't get there in time to stop that TP. And now Showmaker ends up killing him. That's so sad. Lovely TP from Showmaker, but... So great TP usage there, but overall... You know, Renekton should have cancelled in there. It's one of the big things to Renekton. Honestly, I think if Renekton would have just flashed to cancel a TP, flash for TP is completely worth. Especially considering he is kind of beefy. He's got some magic resist already. And, you know, even his ultimate allows him to survive a lot more burst. He's never really going to be able to get on top of Ryze though. But, again, this is good though. See, look here. Just flash W. Like, man, why? He just allowed Showmaker to just run down his top laner. Which, obviously, if this was solo queue, sure. But in competitive, this just shouldn't happen. Peanut does manage to get the dragon off that, though. Which is, you know, that's fine. Xin is resetting. Peanut dropping very low, but he knows exactly how much damage he can take from the dragon, which is obviously good to see. So now Jace is just going to keep poking out this cannon. The problem is Jace is dropping very low on mana. He does have his serrated Dirk Spike now. Cannon does also have Alternator, so he does actually have the ability to outplay this lane. But it is going to be very, very difficult, especially considering, you know, Jace, once he gets that first Mythic Spike, is actually incredibly powerful. And he'll just at one point popping people. And one thing I am kind of curious of, and I'm not entirely sure, is has the kind of tier build on Jace just completely gone? Like, maybe. I haven't seen anybody build tier on Jace in a long, long time. I thought it'd still be good considering, you know, Muramana's fairly good for his burst, but I guess maybe not. You don't need it. I guess the logic is that when you land a full combo as Jace, you don't really end up in a position where you need too many ability rotations. So one mana bar can potentially get you multiple kills. But he probably has mana flow as well, actually. I can't see because he hasn't got it fully stacked yet. We'll be able to see soon when he's got it fully stacked that he'll start getting 5% mana back. I think it's 5% every... Could be 1% every 5 seconds. It's within that range. 1% every 5 seconds. Yeah, not 5%, my bad. I knew there was a 5 in there. So... they do look like I mean, they managed to pick up Herald. Oh no, sorry, it reset. I wasn't concentrating. They're actually just going to restart it again. Beryl is there and looking to go, but Kellen is just in the brush ready. Okay, nice little bit of zone from the Ziggs. I don't think it's going to matter though, because they've just done this so quick. So, yeah, it's kind of rough. There is a big fight here. Now, okay, so Showmaker instantly blew up the Renekton, and now, yeah, this is crazy. Like, and the thing is, how much damage did Kai'Sa do in that fight? Absolutely nothing. Literally nothing. Like, I don't know, man. So they're 4-0 down already. 2k gold. I feel like these were potentially one of the kind of weaker teams coming in. In comparison anyway, you know. I mean, when you're going against teams like Hammer Life and T1 and Damwon, you know, it's I don't know. I feel like Peanut can't carry this alone. I do think Peanut's actually an incredibly talented jungler though, but as we can see here, his entire team is just falling apart, like entirely, which is sad to see. Nice roam from Kellen, but it's a nice roam if he had a meta ADC. Now, Kai'Sa can be good in certain situations, especially when you are picking the Renekton and you want to engage the kind of an all-in comp. Now, if, say, for example, the Damwon was playing kind of sustained champions right now, Kai'Sa would be an amazing... Why does this work? How does that work? And how isn't Kai'Sa dead? Like, why is Xin resetting? Canyon should not reset here. Like, because he should just instantly look to dive bot. So... So there, I think Canyon really dropped the ball. He didn't react to that cross map. And Kai'Sa still almost dies. Like, look at how easy Kai'Sa would die if the Xin just came here. Like, why did he even reset? He reset for nothing. Like, there was no objective available. He did have a little, like, he did have gold on him, but you're playing Xin Zhao. Like, you're like, the amount of base damage that Xin Zhao has is so unbelievably high anyway, that what you actually want to look to do is stay on the map as much as possible, especially on that Iron Spike whip. And if there's an opportunity for you to potentially get something that's very free, like, for example, that bot dive there, then you go for that. Nautilus was top lane and Kai'Sa didn't die. Like, how crazy is that? Nautilus was top with a Kai'Sa lane, which is already bad enough. And then he didn't die. She didn't die because Xin reset. So very sad to see. I mean, they might potentially just give away this dragon. I mean, they don't need to force dragons whatsoever. They're just so strong, they just need to get around the map. Oh, but Jace does instantly die too. There. And Kennen comes in with a great ult, actually, into the Rel ult. Damn. Okay, so the Rel ult actually saved that massively. But it was still actually very bad for DK. That was a really grief by Khan. He just kind of walked in. So this Jace game from him, very, very poor. This is not what you want to see out of a world-class team. So here we can see this gank come in. And here, so Khan just walks up to a Renekton. Like, why would you ever do that? It makes no sense. He gets instantly killed, and then Canyon's trying to bring it back. Showmaker does TP in, but gets instantly ulted by the Kennen. Rel ult does get in to allow Canyon to get an extra kill on the Nidalee, but the Renekton then just comes around and just kills him off. So, really bad fight. Like, I just can't believe that they'd commit to that. It's crazy. But we get a dragon on the side of DK. Dragon doesn't reduce your resistances like Baron does, so here they can fight. And look at this. Like, how useless is this Kai'Sa? I don't know, man. I just feel like this is so sad. This is one of the saddest series already. It just makes no sense. Like, I do think that Kai'Sa can be very, very good in the situations that she is good. But this is not one of those situations. And Nidalee has got Night Harvester, man. Like, where is the rest of, like, I mean, Kennen's AP, sure, but... Oh, they're not really going to build resistances against Kennen when the Renekton is the only one that's doing damage right now. Kai'Sa will do damage. She is on a mythic item, don't get me wrong, but... she can never get in range. This is why you need something like an Ashe or an Aphelios or just something long range. I'd take a Caitlyn. I would literally take a Caitlyn here instead. Because then you just play hard for bot lane. So here they start the dragon. They have no concept of where Xin is. A nice smite steal by Canyon. And then again, Kai'Sa just jumps in and just instantly dies. Like, she's completely useless. And yeah, It just makes no sense. So, we do see the gold drinker come out for the Renekton as well. Honestly, I think there's no... This game is over. Like, already. They've just got too much of a tempo lead. And they get huge draft diff as well. So, it's very rough. Now, this Kennen and Ryze is probably something we're going to see at Worlds this season. I think Kennen Ryze is going to be a very, very popular combo. Showmaker does sweep, so he had a good idea that they were there. What incredible good self-awareness. And again, Kaiser's dead. Like, I don't know, man. Like, what even is there to say about this game? Like, it's just a complete whitewash. Oh, Canyon does, you know, get caught by a Nautilus, but it's a Nautilus, so... So DK just looking to reset now and then get pressure. See here though, like amazing map awareness to dodge that Nidalee Spear. Otherwise he would have just got one pop there. Especially Nidalee Spear into Kaiser W would just kill. But here we can see, you know. I don't know. Nongshim coaching staff for this game. Like, I'd be embarrassed, to be honest. If I drafted this, I would be seriously embarrassed. Kaiser going into a wit's end now, so that's pretty nice to see, but don't really think it's going to be enough against a very fed Siggs and Ryze. And Xin Zhao is very, very big too. So we shall see. If I'm Nongshim, this game, I mean, the only thing I want to be looking for is to potentially funnel into this Kaiser or the Kennen, to be honest. I think Kennen is actually one of their few opportunities to win this game. Considering, yeah, it's kind of interesting. Nidalee again with the haste instead of pen. Just makes it a little rough. So this I also really like. He saves the tower. He only kills it off when all of the minions are dead. Now this is very, very important, because if you instantly kill a tower while there's a huge wave under it, then you're just basically gifting them that entire wave, which you don't want to do. You don't want to do. There's no advantage. So now it's kind of one of them games because there's nobody that can actually defend a side wave. Ryze has picked up a Banshees now. Obviously this is going to prevent some of the CC coming out of Renekton and Kennen. I mean, it's okay considering at this point of the game he already has so much damage that he's already doing plenty. He's also going to get Seraph soon. He's got a stopwatch on him. He's ready to fight whenever. We do see a stopwatch from the Nautilus as well, but I much prefer my stopwatch on my Ryze. I do like that Ziggs went Morello here, purely because it's going to allow the Ryze to not need to build anti-heal. And obviously the Ryze is pumping out a lot more damage right now. I mean, the Ziggs is pumping out a lot, but Ryze damage will be on a different kind of level now, so Ziggs, you know, just checking bushes with Q, just see if they're there. Okay, Canyon throwing out his W, just see if he can snag the cannon and then maybe engage on him. So they're just going to rush Baron. They've got complete vision control of this top side of the map. Obviously there is Nidalee traps and they do grant vision. Well, if they step over it, should I say, sorry. So if they were to say walk into the back of this pit, say to put a ward over the wall now, they are going to get spotted by vision. They're going to get a pink on it in time, but they instantly rush it. I mean, Canyon didn't even use smite there, did he? If he did, it was on like 300. But now they're just looking for a fight. They've jumped straight on Renekton, but Zin gets instantly popped. Showmaker is on the backline, just doing so much damage though. Again, this Kai'Sa completely useless, uses his stopwatch, and now he's going to pick up Peanut as well. And now they're also going to probably chase down this Renekton. Ooh, Renekton's actually doing a lot of damage though. Jace is completely out of his element here. It's actually a teamfight win for NS. It's all because Canyon just instantly jumped in. He got so greedy. So Canyon just griefed. We're going to see it again. We see Gori coming in on the Renekton with a TP in the back. And we get a massive amount of chunk of Kai'Sa. She's already halved out the fight. Ryze ult behind. And then they decide to keep going. So Canyon jumps in, ults, but he only gets a Renekton back, who instantly ease in. And then he gets insta-killed. Rel jumps in with a fairly good ultimate, but Ghost gets completely zoned out by Rich. Kai'Sa does instantly die to the Ryze, but Rich is going nuts on Ghost right now. And obviously it's because Kennen can pump out more consistent damage with his W. So his auto attacks actually hurt way more than what Ghost do, especially considering Kennen needs that passive to cool down. So very convincing teamfight carry by the Kennen, actually, just as on the Ghost out. That was huge, actually. So they are just looking to siege this tower out. They don't need Baron to push. It would have been amazing here, don't get me wrong, but okay, Canyon just instantly jumps on Richard. Ult comes in from the Ziggs. It does a considerable amount of damage. It is going to allow them to just get this tower. And remember, Ziggs W means that if a tower drops below a certain amount of HP, he will instantly be able to kill it off too. So that's a very, very important part to Ziggs' kit, and that's one of the reasons why he's such a good siege champion. He can just continuously push in over and over and over, and that's kind of where he plays towards. Now the threshold is between 25 to 35% of the turret's maximum HP. Obviously you don't max W first or second actually, but still 25% of the turret's maximum HP is a considerable amount. That's so much. You just have to get it down to a quarter and then it dies. So, and this is kind of one of the reasons why Ziggs is insane, because if you can play around him and enable him in bot lane with something like a Nautilus, then you end up kind of pushing the waves in constantly. You get that first tower, all the plates, you then rotate into top lane, get that tower, all the plates, rotate to mid lane, again, rinse and repeat. You just go around collecting basically as many tower platings as you can. If you can get to 15, then you're basically in a position where you will win that game. I think full tower is worth about 1200 gold, so if you get that 3 times over, you've just got yourself a free Rabadons. So it's very, very oppressive. Obviously you'll never really see that in pro play. Maybe we'll see it in some play-ins, to be honest, but so maybe we will see it, maybe we won't. It's also a similar thing that happens with, for example, Caitlyn. Caitlyn can also do this. I don't know why the quality just kind of died there. My bad. It has got a little bit choppy though, hasn't it? Right, so honestly, in terms of this game now, Ryze is way too far ahead. So it's very difficult for them to really do anything. But, you know, the Renekton is pretty strong. He's got his Gold Drink and Serax now, which means he is going to survive quite a while in these team fights. So maybe we do see him actually do something substantial anyway. We'd hope to see it. Kai'Sa does pick up her Wits End now, which again, the extra attack speed will also mean that she gets her E-Evolve. So that's kind of one of the really good things about this build. Obviously, Dirk and Gale Force give you Q, and then Wits End and Boots will give you E, I'm fairly certain. What she could do here as well is instead of going Collector, what she wants to do, actually no, she can't, never mind, I take that back. I was going to suggest something like a Nash's Tooth, in order to get a W evolve as well. I mean, to be fair, maybe that's the only play. Well, now I think about it, if she was to go Nash's or even pick up a Zonya's, then maybe that would allow her to evolve W and then just kind of keep spamming W's in these fights, and that might be the only way she can actually play this game or actually impact it, purely because obviously Renekton is pretty strong right now, but I mean, when Pen comes in, it's not going to mean anything. And we see that the Ziggs now has a Void Staff too, which, you know, those two items are giving him an extra, I think, 10 haste too, so he's going to be throwing a lot more bombs in these fights, and he's going to be going kind of crazy. I don't know why he put that down there, like, doesn't really make much sense. I guess he's recalling anyway, it saves them from taking it out. But they are just going to look to try and force Baron again, I think. Kennen does have his TP available and the Renekton, so this is a very, very risky kind of game to play. Nidalee traps are just scattered everywhere. Obviously, if they walk over any of them, Nidalee will get vision of them. So that's why they really have to be careful. Nidalee jumps over to try and kind of go towards the next camp, though, instantly into a Rel. Obviously, they couldn't go on that because there was nobody to actually follow up and fight. Rel just clearing out all the vision, but they do jump on Peanut and do a massive amount of damage. Canyon ults the Nautilus away, but now they could potentially just look to rush this. This is going to be a 50-50 though, so they do want to look to turn from this fight. They don't want to rush it down unless Canyon's really feeling himself on this smite, but it's way too risky. And Nidalee, you know, she can W over and she can use her Q alongside her smite, which actually does a considerable amount of damage. Oh, so I was saying earlier about the tier build on Jace. He has still gone it. You just build it way later into your build now. I think he got it third item, so he was just prioritizing getting his Dirk as soon as possible in the early game, so that clarifies that. So gold difference pretty heavy for Showmaker, considering this Renekton is their kind of main carry as well. But even the Rel, the fact that Rel has 700 gold advantage is actually huge. Now they do actually deny the soul. Now the thing is, DK, it's like they haven't really got these objectives for the sole purpose of needing them. They've gotten these objectives so that now they don't need to get them. There's no pressure. There's going to be no pressure from Elder. We're still going to need a potential 2 more Drakes for the side of NS, or 1 for DK, but what they might do is allow them to get 1 more and prioritize Baron again on the opposite side of the map, and then just get the soul and just play for it. If they lose the soul, it's not really going to be too big. I mean, it's going to be very painful on the Kennen, but we do see this kind of fight. Beryl with some nice sidesteps there, but Renekton is around the side. He's about to engage. Okay, never mind. He's actually just going to allow Beryl to reset. This drink is a mango and passion fruit. It's actually very good. Very good. So they do go for that. Okay, so Canyon actually secures it. Very risky going for the 50-50 though. They prioritize those 50-50s way too hard. Okay, so we see a nice big shield from the Sterak's come in from the Xin Zhao. Is it going to matter? Probably not. He does get instantly killed down. Meanwhile, they're just trying to kill the Kennen in the backline, but Renekton is just way too big. He's causing a massive problem for this team now. Now, this is because he's so fed, don't get me wrong. Now, one of the reasons behind this also is because he has his Spirit Visage and his Merc Treads now, which again, that gets rid of a large amount of the kind of DK's damage right now. So we can see it back here. There is a replay. Nidalee misses a spear. She starts a sweep. She jumps over. She doesn't get it in time. They actually burst it down and then get it. Canyon instantly jumps on the Nautilus, which I think is already a big problem considering Nautilus isn't going to be a massive threat. Nidalee gets his stopwatch, which literally saves a life, allows us to flash out. Canyon uses his ult for the Renekton, but a massive shield from that Sterak's, and then they just don't have enough frontline. DK do a good job here to get out, but I mean 1-for-1, and they got Baron, so I mean it's kind of worth to be honest. Now they just have to use this Baron effectively and stack some waves up now, and they should be fine to keep closing out this game. I did see that ping on mid lane then, and I thought it was a little indicator on the map for a super minion, and I was like, oh my god, what? Where did that come from? So there's actually some wards down here, so it'd be intriguing to see who these wards are. Very good. We have 4 sweepers from the side of NS right now, which I mean, I think I prefer another blue trinket, but I mean it's completely fine. That's kind of the least of their worries in this game, to be completely honest. So Showmaker coming in from the side. Rich really looking for this flank, but Showmaker there just to completely shut it down. And DK know that if the Kennen doesn't get a flank off, then they're actually fine to keep sieging here. So Canyon does get hooked by the Null, but it really doesn't matter because nobody can actually walk up and do any damage because of the Ziggs zone. So this is kind of what I was saying in this draft. Like, the amount of zone that Ziggs has means that, like, most of NS's team really struggle here. Now, we're probably going to see Ziggs banned next game, to be completely honest. I can't see them leaving it open. He didn't even need his W to pop that tower. They're literally just going to force this inhib down and maybe just look to end, to be honest. They've got double cannons. So right now, if they protect both of these cannons, then, you know, they can potentially just end the game due to the fact that they have this Baron buff. So again, like, I mean, there were like shimmers of life out of NS, but I think in general this was a very hard stomp game. This is a pretty kind of good fight for them if the Renekton can get in, but he did, but you know, it just doesn't quite do enough. So the Kennen gets dropped as well. Nice W from the Ziggs. This is why you never really want to look to get stopwatches as much against the Ziggs, because if you stopwatch it, the W just instantly comes down. So now they're just going to rotate into the mid lane with the wave that was pushing anyway. And yeah, Ziggs just getting in position so they can W out. They don't really need to get this inhib just yet. They're going to wait on it. There is a TP flank coming in from behind though. The Renekton could potentially do a lot, but I think Peanut is going to die before Renekton manages to get there. But okay, so they just get out. So a complete wasted TP from the Renekton because the Nidalee managed to put herself in a position where she could get focused. And because she got focused, it, you know, it took their attention off running away, and it meant that the TP was kind of bad. So we do have a TP coming in from DK though, and they are collapsing on the Baron. Rel in the Baron pit is something that you don't want to deal with. There's an ult coming in there from Ziggs. Ziggs actually managed to secure the soul. And now they're actually just going to end the game off it, since they do have super minions in bot side, they have minions in top. So whoa, okay, so a preemptive Ryze ultimate as well. But Showmaker just having the game of his life, to be honest. He's completely smashing this game. Okay, nice rel mount up W. Kennen does get a lot off there, but it's just not enough. We have double GA coming in now. And Ghost, even little Ace BM. Okay, so yeah, so this game, honestly, it was over in the draft. Like, there was no way that NS could win this game unless they were against players that were significantly worse than them, which you can't really use and take into consideration against DK, you know? So, let's go on to the next one.